All right, this is take two because I messed up my first try at this. Second video, Tower of Operations. I'm going to start actually using it now. By the way, what I was saying before that got completely lost, so you can't hear it anyways. All right, this is the basis for all of my algebra students' notes. We, I do less notes than a lot of other teachers, mainly because I use this tower so much that the day one in an algebra class, pre-algebra class, algebra two class, pre-calc class, and math class that's based on algebra. Now, geometry is going to have a lot more notes. Providence stats is going to have very different notes. Those two classes, I don't use this tower as much, but any class that is based pretty heavily in algebra, I use this tower a lot. And 95%, I'm making up that percentage, 80 to 90% of the students' notes all fit on this tower. And as far as like you teachers out there, best practice thing, I have a poster that has this. In algebra 2 class, I would start it with two words. Not this video. The next video is going to have my second big word on it. Uh, in my classroom, laminated, which is kind of important. I'll show you that in a while, up on the wall. And as we go through each different unit, as we add stuff, I will annotate with a dry erase marker over this tower, and so I get my kids to keep changing it, so that this is going to be like the foundations of their notes for whatever unit they're in. And as each unit goes, they have the same picture that they have been like decorating, is what I like to say, but improving each unit that they keep looking at. Because honestly, this is the foundation of algebra math, but this is the foundation of math. These are the operators, right? So, is my stuff even recording? What? Okay, I am. I just don't have my tools. All right, let me move that out of the way. Sorry, didn't mean to aggravate some of you guys. All right, so let me make that a little bit smaller. All right, so on the left side, and I don't know why I do it. I'm doing the left side because it's the first side. I will write the word expressions, because if you're like in I don't even know what grade because I don't teach middle school, but sixth, seventh grade, my son, when he was in fifth grade, started, well, not fifth grade, even before that, they started doing order of operations. Wherever they start learning order of operations, expressions, you know, I hate PEMDAS. As a math teacher, even, I hate PEMDAS. So on my board, on my poster on my wall, on the left side, I have expressions. It's typed out because my handwriting is, horrible. It starts at the top and it works its way down. And that's your order of operations, right? They start at the top and they work their way down. Expressions start at the top. They start with the most powerful things. So the first thing I look for are groups, right? That could be, you know, if I have this, that's a group, right? And I love this is I said last time. I like saying I uh, Sarah Carter, high school, small school teacher in Oklahoma. Um, that's about all I remember because I haven't really. I mean, she's bookmarked on my in my browser, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't gone there in a while, and I can't remember all the details and the important stuff with her page. While she does a great personal connection, the important stuff is she has awesome math resources, and I get wrapped up in the math. So that's a group. They can be done with parentheses, right? Um, but don't forget, in the this is why I like this being. I might change color so you can tell I'm doing something different here. Um, do the same thing here. So let's scratch that. That's gone, right? That's also a group, right? And younger kids get confused because they hear PEMDAS and they're looking for parentheses. And you can tell them, hey, watch out for the invisible parentheses. I mean, as a math teacher, I'm not trying to trash math teachers. So obviously, I'm a math teacher. I absolutely love math. I loved a lot of my math teachers, but looking back at the things we were told, it almost seemed like it's a wonder that there's not more students confused. Because I remember being told to keep my eye out for invisible parentheses. I mean, hello, guys. They're invisible. How are you going to keep your eye out for things that are invisible? And then we wonder why they get confused, right? If you take a kid that's not like with you and really interested in your subject and you say these things to them, how are they not lost? Right. But if I say I'm looking for groups, it almost kind of makes sense that that's a group, right? The 2 plus 3 is a group. They're together, right? Same thing when they get into algebra 2. I'm going to do the exact same numbers because the numbers aren't important. You know, these guys are together. They're a group, right? There's no parentheses. And telling them that there's parentheses there, you've just given them something else to try to memorize that looks tricky and impossible. And they're going to go to their parents who are going to have, you have no control over their mathematical background, right? And they're told to look out for invisible parentheses. And if their parents are only halfway paying attention, they're going to tell their kid there's no parentheses there. And their parents right, but that's a group, right? Same thing if it's on the bottom, not a big deal. Right here. These guys are a group. It kind of makes sense that they're a group because they're together, and this guy has this line separating them, keeping them away, right? So that's why we start at the top. There's groups, and then that boom, they see powers and roots, and you can tell them go left and right because there they are, and you can still do the left right, and it makes sense. Oh, hey, I'm going to do that. And by the way, if you can only make your poster black and white, you're kind of missing out. I would even like color it in before you get it laminated if you can, or something different. I try to make each of these levels different colors so they can see that there's a connection because these guys are on equal footing. This one comes first, that one comes out, and I try to explain to my kids that the one on the left, you go left to right there, boom 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 boom, right, and that they're on equal footing. So it's okay that if I have, let me try to make sure I pick a decent. Let me erase all this junk. All right, here we are. So, let me try to. Let me do this. Let me do this right. I'm coming up with this stuff on the fly. So, whatever you see here, that's no fun. Let's do something ugly. Let's not do the math in head, anyways. All right. So if I have that, if I my student has memorized PEMDAS, they're so tempted because you made it horizontal. Right? If you write down PEMDAS, it doesn't matter how many times. I mean, how ridiculous is it to say we're going to do parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Oh, but by the way, if division comes before multiplication, you do that first. You've given them a mnemonic device to remember this, and then told them it's wrong. Right? It's like I'm going to trash English people here. It's like when I was told I before E except after C, and then the next spelling word of the next week was there, like their toys. And I had just learned that I before E except after C, and then the next thing that I got to see was an exception to that rule. I mean, no wonder I can't spell. But we do the exact same thing. But if it's with a tower here, and I'm at the multiplication division level because I'm looking at this. There's no groups. Great. I don't see any powers or roots. I'm now looking for multiplication and division. Does that make sense? So now, boom, 7 divided by 3, then times 9. So it's not 7 divided by 27, right? So that's how it goes. And I think I'm like about out of recording time. So that's expressions. Start at the top, work your way down. I have to figure out how I can get this thing to stop. I'll see you next time